환영합니다. Welcome to K-Culture Dive, where we dive deeper into the heart of Korean culture with K-entertainment issues, AI culture news, and today our K-Culture Issues segment where we dive into Sageuk Productions. And I'm your host, Kwon So-wa. Let's dive in. And joining me this Friday is our co-host, Walter Lee. Welcome back, Walter.
Happy Friday, Soa. And yes, hello to everyone watching. I'm Walter Lee, here to co-host alongside Soa and give you the latest in Korean entertainment news.
All right, so let's get right into K-Enter news. And we're going to start off with two influential K-pop boy groups who made it on a significant list of artists.
Yes, exactly. A very significant list as well. So yes, Stray Kids and 17 have shown their global dominance once again by landing among the world's biggest music acts of 2025 in the Global Artist Chart 2025, unveiled this week by the International Federation of Phonographic Industry. Now, Stray Kids stormed to number 2, and that was just behind one of the biggest artists in the world, Taylor Swift. Now, 17 also secured a strong showing, ranking at number 14. Now, the IFPI chart is often viewed as the ultimate scoreboard of global music success. It calculates rankings by combining physical albums, digital downloads, and also streaming numbers, and that's from around the world. Now, Stray Kids, who first broke into the chart at number 7 in 2022, have now made the list 4 years in a row, 2025 being their highest ranking of the date up to date. Meanwhile, 17 continued their impressive hot streak, marking 5 consecutive years on the global ranking since 2021.
Well, congratulations to the boys. And we're now going to talk about a boy or a member of a big boy group as well,
yes.
BTS, J-Hope to be exact. And we should congratulate him as well on his birthday, but also we should say thank you because he made a generous donation.
Indeed, we shall. So yes, thank you, J-Hope, K-pop star J-Hope of BTS, turned his birthday February 18th into a celebration of giving and donating a total of 350 million Korean won. That's approximately 260,000 US dollars. According to industry sources, the global performer contributed 200 million Korean won to the Seoul Asan Medical Center, supporting improved treatment facilities for pediatric and adolescent patients, as well as home-based medical care for critically ill children. He also donated 100 million won in scholarships through Child Fund Korea, known as the Green Umbrella, to help students of his alumni mater pursue their dreams. And it didn't stop there. J-Hope also showed his love for animals. He donated an additional 50 million Korean won to an animal rescue shelter and to Nesarang Badugi, another animal needs corporation. Now, J-Hope's cumulative donations have reached an impressive 1.5 billion Korean won. That's just over $1 million US dollars. His total contributions to Seoul Asan Medical Center now stand at 500 million won. And Child Fund Korea, he is a member of the exclusive Green Noble Trinity Club, which is reserved for donors who have given more than 1 billion won in total.
Very meaningful. And last but not least, Walter, let's end with director Hong Sang-soo's new film.
Yes, so it feels like not too long ago I've been talking about Mr. Hong Sang-soo, but yes, his 34th feature film, The Day She Returns, made its world premiere on Wednesday evening local time at the Berlin International Film Festival, screened in the panorama section of the festival. Now, the black and white drama captures a single day in the life of actress Bae Jung-soo, who returns to acting after hiatus. The film follows the once beloved national star as she sits down with reporters, candidly reflecting on her life and career. Now, during a post-screening Q&A, Hong shared some insight into his creative process, revealing that he typically begins not with a fixed concept like many other directors do, but instead actually is more distinctly actor-driven approach to filmmaking. While the official release date of the day she returns has not yet been announced, the film is slated to open in the first half of this year.
All right, thank you very much, Walter, for those updates, and don't go anywhere.
I won't.
And now we move over to our AI anchor Arirang for more on the culture front. Arirang.
Thanks, Sua. Here's your AI guide to the latest cultural headlines from Korea. Let's begin with our top story. The National Museum of Korea's special exhibition on Emerald Isun-shin has drawn more than 300,000 visitors amid strong public interest. It marks the highest attendance ever recorded by the museum for an exhibition focusing on Korea's cultural heritage and history. Museum Director Yoo Hong-jun assessed that the high turnout reflects the global competitiveness of the storytelling power and emotional depth of Korea's cultural heritage. Titled The Great Admiral Lee Sun-shin, the exhibition highlights the human side of the revered naval hero through some 360 artifacts and national treasures, including his handwritten war diary, the Nanjung Ilgi. It runs through March 3rd. A special full moon event will be held at Changgyeong Palace in Seoul to mark Jeongwal Daeborim, the first full moon of the lunar year. From February 24 to March 2nd, a large full moon installation will be set up near the palace's Pungide, a state-designated treasure that was used in the Joseon era to measure wind direction and strength. The illuminated moon display will be lit from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. A stargazing program will also be held in front of Yanghwadang Hall in cooperation with the Astro Seoul Observatory. During the event, visitors who share full moon-themed photos or short videos of the palace will be entered into a lucky draw for special gifts. So don't miss the chance to take home a memorable souvenir. The Seoraksan National Park office will launch a multilingual visitor campaign through this weekend, amid a continuing surge in foreign visitors marking Lunar New Year week. Park officials will promote etiquette and safety guidelines, focusing on preventing illegal and disorderly behaviors such as smoking, littering, public urination, and entering restricted trails. They will also step up enforcement against smoking and outdoor cooking to prevent wildfires. Multilingual staff and volunteers will be stationed at campaign booths near trail entrances, while QR codes will link visitors to multilingual campaign videos. That's all from me. Turning now to a quick look at more K-culture stories making headlines today.
From musician to painter, one of Korea's most influential composers, Kim Soo-chul, has unveiled a new artistic language, transforming sound into color on canvas. Our Do Young-eun takes us inside his latest exhibition.
A vast black and white canvas captures the imagined sounds on distant planets. Sonic Genesis 30 and 31 reveal Kim Soo-chul's surreal universe. In that other dimension, paint flows in every direction, with dark masses like black holes observing intense energy.
It doesn't stop with our world. Looking at the night sky, I grew curious about other planets, what they're like and what they sound like. So I imagined visiting them and I expressed those sounds and feelings.
On textured blue backgrounds, bold red circles burst outward, as if sound itself is vibrating through paints. The Sonic of Blue series layers sweeping blue brushstrokes to express the vitality of nature. His paintings span a spectrum from the sound of buds sprouting to emotions like sorrow and joy, and the metallic tones of distant planets.
I listened to conversations, the sounds of the world, distant sadness and joy, the sounds of dreams, and the living sounds of nature, and I painted the feelings of what I heard.
Nicknamed the Little Giant, Kim has shaped Korea's music scene for nearly half a century, from pop to traditional Korean music or kuga. His curiosity about the roots of Korean sound eventually led to his dedication to Korean music. He served as music director for 1986 Asian Games, the 1988 Summer Olympics, and the 2002 FIFA World Cup, bringing the spirit of Korean sound to global audiences.
We're working to make our traditional sounds more accessible to modern people, to bring Korean traditional music closer to everyday life, and popularize it. We will continue modernizing and integrating our traditional sounds into daily life.
Kim continues to redefine artistic expression, now expanding his practice to sound paintings. Kim Soo-chul's Colors of Sound exhibition runs through March at Seoul Art Center. 조영은, Arirang News.
Korean historical works, known as Sageuk, are once again capturing public attention. From television series and films to musicals, the genre is enjoying renewed success. Today's productions span a much broader spectrum than before, ranging from traditional period pieces to works that blend fantasy with modern storytelling. For more, we're now joined by Ji Hae-won, cultural critic and professor at Kyunghee University. Welcome back, Professor Ji.
Hello, Professor.
Hello, good afternoon.
All right, so let's talk about The King's Warden, which has been enjoying a big success at the box office with more than 4.4 million admissions so far. So this is based on historical events in Korea.
Right.
So please tell us more about it and why is it resonating so strongly with the audience right now?
That's right. The director Jang Hang-jun's new film, The King's Warden, 왕가 사는 남자, released on February 4th, is a historic drama and based on the true story of King Danjong, the sixth king of the Joseon dynasty, and his loyal subject, Heung-do. So the film's tragic ending is already known historically, but it illuminates the harsh power dynamics and the human bonds through the eyes of a man who watched over the King Danjong during his final days. So I was personally moved by the fact that King Danjong, actually he's a young victim of the political struggle, was able to realize his own value as a king and was also a witness to a history at the end of his life among the people in a small village, Gwangcheonggol. So I think the audiences are deeply moved by the film's new perspective on a historical tragedy. And of course, the outstanding performances of the actors, including Yoo Hae-jin, Park Ji-hoon, and Yoo Ji-tae, who played Heung-do, King Danjong, and Han Myung-hwae. They are driving the film's box office success. So as you just mentioned, The King's Warden has already surpassed the break-even point and drawing over 4.4 million audiences. So it is actually delivering a positive signal for the Korean film industry in 2026.
Right, and I was one of those of the audience who was deeply moved by the movie as well.
Yes, and one of the great appeals of the historical dramas is their meticulously researched pardon my French, mise en scène,
Yeah.
which are elaborate hanbok and costumes and makeup. I hear that there was some interesting behind-the-scenes stories in regards to this. Could you tell us some?
Yeah, right. Unlike the contemporary dramas, the period drama, the historical dramas have the clear boundaries and limited ways to express characters and their emotions through their costumes or makeups. So therefore, the King's Warden tried to give the character a specific narrative through the details of costumes and makeups, such as facial tones and wrinkle or the beard and eyebrows. So it is that they tried to portray the typical Korean father figure through Amundo's appearance as a leader of a small village and a loyal subject of the King Danjong, who becomes more thoughtful and serious at the end. And meanwhile, the story was told by portraying, of course, King Danjong, who was in exile and weak and gaunt at first, but gradually finding vitality through the close interaction with the villagers. Additionally, the power man Han Myung-hae, played by Yoo Ji-tae, was given a strong eyebrow and beard to give off the air of ambition, actually. So like these examples, the character's makeup and the costumes, which combines with the historical accuracy and cinematic realism. So these are provide the greater immersion and the engagement to the audiences.
And along with that, I also hear that actor Yoo Ji-tae also gained a lot of weight for his role as well. And now let's shift away from the film now to a musical, because the popularity of historical storytelling expands into performing arts as well. So let's talk about The Man in Hanbok. It has been praised as a well-made original production. We did mention it before as well, but what really stands out in this work?
Right. We talked about these productions as well, last year. So it opened in December, and The Man in Hanbok, 한복 입은 남자, produced by EMK Musical Company, won the Best Musical Award at the 10th Korean Musical Award in January. So the musical is based on a novel of the same name and effectively uses dramatic imagination to connect one of the historical mysteries, the disappearance of the genius scientist Jang Young-sil of Joseon Dynasty, and the connected to the Leonardo da Vinci, whom he encountered in Italy. So this is fiction, but the splendid stage depicting the Joseon Dynasty and Italy is highlight of the production. And of course, the actors' excellent performances that transcend the time period captivate the audiences. Another original musical based on the historical background, Arirang, 목류도원, we also mentioned this production as well. It's set in Baekje period, and it showcases a charm of narrative based on the tale of Domi, traditional Korean music and beautiful stage as well. So audiences who have actually exposed to the musical primarily set in the Western culture, Western background, are now catching the attention to the works that convey a sense of Korean sentiment.
Right, and many Sageuk productions are blending genres, for instance, romance and fantasy incorporation. Can you maybe tell us about this trend that's happening?
Yeah, that's right. Among recent Korean dramas like Sageuk, the fantasy romance genre has been more gaining popularity. So for instance, the recently airing TV drama, To My Beloved Thief, 은혜하는 도정님아, is also set in Joseon Dynasty and depicts the love and social justice that unfold when a lawyer man Yeol and a commoner woman Hong Eun-jo switch their souls. So another drama, Moon River, 이강에는 달이 흐른다, which aired last year on MBC, was also romantic fantasy historical drama about a man and woman's soul being switched. But it had a stronger comedic elements than the To My Beloved Thief. So another romantic fantasy historic drama was last year's huge popular TVN drama, The Tyrant Chef, 복군의 셰프. This fantasy romance comedy tells the story of a modern-day French chef who travels back in time to Joseon Dynasty and becomes a chef for the tyrannic King Yeonsan-gun, who possesses a perfect sense of taste, actually. So I believe that these historic drama genres, which is being created, a romantic comedy by mixing up the fantasy in this way, reflect the trend of creating content that is widely loved by younger and global audiences while incorporating Korean elements into the historic backgrounds.
Time traveling, switching souls, how much more creative can it become? But Professor Ji, do you think the formula for success in historical dramas has changed from the past?
Yeah, I think so. In the past, there were many historic dramas that they were based on a fact, but ultimately created as a fiction, but they approached the social or political issues more seriously in the works. But however, these days, there seems to be a trend of evolving into different genres while borrowing the historical backgrounds of Korea. So as a result, modern elements are naturally incorporated into Korean dramas and historic dramas, and the audiences can more easily relate it to those contemporary stuff such as character composition or speaking style and directing elements as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right, right. And recently, more idol turned actors, we're seeing a lot of those, and younger stars have been taking on roles in historical dramas. Do you think the shift in casting has influenced the image of Sageuk or broadened its audience base instead?
Yeah, yes, I do. I do think that having more idol-turned actors or younger stars in historic dramas is making that genre, Sageuk itself, look younger or trendier to the audiences. So these efforts can help to open the door for especially global audiences to easily access to historical dramas without understanding prior knowledge of Korean history. So these Korean historic dramas with their fantasy elements create a similar resonance as a modern dramas, but I believe by adding the unique and fresh elements of the Korean historical backgrounds, they are approaching younger and more global audiences as a new genre.
And I think a very good example of an idol-turned actor is the one that we just saw in the video as well, Park Ji-hoon of The King's Warden. He did an excellent job, I have to say. And if you wouldn't know that he was actually an idol, a K-pop star, I think no one would know that he used to be like a singer because he was so excellent in his role.
He actually started his career as an actor at first, as a kid actor. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So because I was thinking of the audition show, of the K-pop audition show, and then I did see him on the dramas, on other dramas, and then this movie. Exactly, and that was one of my, that was the one which really opened my eyes to him as an actor. That's why I was thinking of that one. But last but not least, Professor Ji, historical works require careful handling of tradition and historical facts. So what kind of a balance is needed to minimize the chance of misunderstandings or distortions while maintaining creative freedom?
Right. The historical dissertation or the exaggeration in trendy historical dramas is a highly sensitive issue among the critics or the audiences. In recent years, in particular, the line between the creative freedom and historical accuracy has been blurred, sometimes leading to the social controversy, actually. So when you're recreating the real-life figure as a character in dramas, there were instances where they are excessively caricatured or belittled, and the errors in historic or cultural accuracy occurred. So furthermore, there are concerns that in some cases, fictional characters are accepted as fact, instilling a distorted historical perspective in audiences. So I think to avoid these problems, creators and producers should maintain a minimum level of the credibility based on historic record when using real life characters as a protagonist in dramas. So, and also it is necessary to clearly inform the audiences through the subtitle or something else that the content is a fantasy or fiction. So in order to prevent a misunderstanding about the fictional setting. So I believe the key is to respect the historic facts while filling the gaps with a creative imagination.
Right. It's a very difficult issue. And when I watch movies, they do have the subtitles at the beginning of the movie saying there are some fictional elements in there. However, you don't know which parts of the movie are fictional. That is why I, for instance, do my own research after I watch the movie. But because not everyone does that, I think it is maybe more important to let the audience know which parts are actually based on the real history and which parts are fictional. Right. Very interesting topic today, Professor Z. Looking forward to next time and have a great weekend.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Walter, as always. Have a great weekend and see you next week.
See you next week.
Thanks for watching and your interest in everything K-Culture. K-Culture Dive will be back on Monday, 2 p.m. Korea time. Have a culture-filled weekend and keep diving.